It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, today is a Friday. We have made it to the end of a week, and I am sharing a full album reaction that I have previously filmed with all of you today, and there's a specific reason why. You may notice I am wearing my Freddie Mercury jacket. It's not the exact jacket, y'all. I would not fit into Freddie's actual actual clothes. This is sized particularly for a Doug-sized human. It is a replica, but it is real leather and it is quite wonderful. And this was gifted to me by one of our patrons named Janine a few years ago. And I want to talk about Janine for a minute because sadly, last week she passed away. And, this happens in a community of so many people that we've assembled over the years. We occasionally get folks who pass, and they become really close friends. Janine is someone who lived a full life, and she absolutely loved Queen. In fact, you may see this jacket appearing in several episodes that have already been filmed. You will see them in future episodes because I intend to keep it and keep using it. But pretty much every Queen episode that we recorded and released since October of 2021, when Janine became a patron of ours, each one of those episodes has been the result of her direct suggestion, and I loved doing these reaction videos for her specifically because I knew how much they meant to her. She lived alone. She had a cat named Mercury, named after Freddie Mercury, and she would appear in my DMs pretty much every day, just checking in on me, making sure I was doing okay, asking me what I was up to that day, double checking on that I still liked Queen, and asking when the next Queen episode was going to be released, and all of that. And over the years, I got protective almost of her. I really didn't want anything bad to happen to her, and just felt a kinship with this person who opened up and shared so much of her struggles and her life with me directly. And you get to know people, as much as I love the musical part of this, and that's what drives what I do here on this YouTube channel, it really is the people that makes it really worth continuing on and continuing to make these connections, because the music is what binds us, but it needs us to bind together. We need to share this love of music, this love of art, how it impacts our life. And she was one of the best. Sadly, she passed away. I don't know a lot about how it actually happened, what the cause of death was, but when I stopped hearing from her, it really worried me, and I ended up just going on the internet and looking for an obituary that I was fearful might exist, and I found it. And sadly, that's how I figured out that she had passed. When I decided to do a Queen poll over on our Patreon at the end of April, it was specifically because I had heard from Janine, and she had hurt her hip and she was going to be going to the doctor. And I thought, you know what? We haven't done Queen in a while. Let's get one in there for Janine. And I don't know if she ever got to see this, y'all. I really don't. But this episode was done in love for her and for all of the Queen fans in our community, and to commemorate not only this great band, but this wonderful woman and her impact on our lives. I want to share with y'all my full album reaction to Sheer Heart Attack from Queen with y'all now. Okay, y'all, it's EPL time. You can tell by the jacket, my Freddie Mercury jacket. time for some Queen, everybody. I had to include the jacket, but I'm not going to wear it for the entire episode because it's a little warm, y'all, and I normally get really worked up while I'm doing these. But I wanted to include the leather Freddie Mercury jacket in the video today because every time we do Queen, I got to include the jacket. So, all hail King Freddie, y'all. We got King Freddie and a band called Queen. How about that? So, let's get to it, shall we? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. It's one way to start a video, isn't it? So, we have an extended play lounge up today. This is episode 90, our 90th full album reaction here on Patreon. We're getting to Queen, and the album today is Sheer Heart Attack. This has been one of our favorite bands throughout the life of the Daily Doug, and I have heard music from this band outside of the Daily Doug, y'all. They are a big and well-known band. It's Queen. They've sold a few records, right? I mean, I looked, and they are, I think, 5th all-time in the number of albums sold by artists. I think they're only beaten by the Beatles and Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley and Elton John. That's it. And their music is known around the world, and they're such a unique and special band. And it's been a while since we've gotten to music by them. We've heard them on YouTube. We've heard them in EPL episodes previously, on fan favorites, behind the scores. Y'all vote for Queen. You know, they're so versatile and so unique, but it's been a while since we've heard from them. So it is time to get back to music from Queen. Thank you for voting in the poll. We are doing Sheer Heart Attack because it won the poll by a pretty convincing margin. And as far as albums by Queen go, I've only heard 2 in their entirety. We heard A Night at the Opera, their 4th album, first. That was EPL number 48 back in July of 2023. And then we heard Queen 2, their 2nd album, A Side at a Time, over on YouTube. That was done in the summer of 2024. So this time, as determined by our poll, we're going to the album that comes right in the middle of Queen 2 and A Night at the Opera. It's Sheer Heart Attack, the 3rd album by Queen. This was released in November of 1974, and with this album, they are really starting to gravitate more towards a little bit of a more conventional rock and roll, even glam rock, as opposed to their more progressive roots. And this is really the album that launches the band into a mainstream popularity around the world. And I've heard some of the songs on here. I'll talk about that as we go along. But I've never heard quite a few of these. We've got 13 tracks on this little album. And as I read in, we've got a ton of overdubbing as well, something that Queen is quite known for, their extravagant arrangements, right? I read that on one song called Bring Back That Leroy Brown. We'll hear that on side 2. They had 70 different vocal tracks, and they had to mix it down so that the 24-track mixer that they were using could handle it. And even at that point in time, think about this, 1974, a 24-track mixer, that's what I wanted to say, is relatively luxurious for that time period anyway, and they were way over that and having to edit things down, and I read that there were even time constraints as they were finishing the recording and mastering of this to get it out by the time that they wanted to. And they made it, and we get this wonderful album, y'all. So, let's get to it. We got Freddie Mercury on lead and backing vocals. He's on the piano, he's on the Hammond organ, on some percussion as well. Brian May is on the guitars, lead and backing vocals. A banjolele, which is a cross between a ukulele and a banjo. That'll be fun to hear. John Deacon is on the bass. He also plays some guitar and the double bass as well. And Roger Taylor on drums and percussion, also on lead and backing vocals. So let's start off with side one. And the first song on the album is called Brighton Rock. It's by Brian May, and both Brian and Freddie share the lead vocals on this one. This is one that I have heard back in Fan Favorites 14. We were celebrating Guitar Month in April of 2023 for that episode, and as we remember, this is a song that's known for Brian's guitar solo more than anything else. The song includes an unaccompanied guitar solo interlude, which uses delay to build up the guitar harmonies and contrapuntal melodic lines. The studio version only contains one main guitar and one echoed guitar for a short section, but live, Brian would usually split his guitar signal into a main and to an echoed signal and send those out to separate banks of amplifiers. Only Brian could figure that out, right? And so this guitar solo is considered to be one of the great guitar solos of rock and roll. So let's get it rolling with Brighton Rock from Queen. Here we go. Brighton Rock. Yeah, I remember we're at the circus or the fair or something. Down at the shore. And we start off this album with recorded sounds, you know, found sounds. Then it segues into the band doing their thing. And they're in a bright key. B major. Oh no, I must away to my mom in disarray. She wouldn't approve of how we spend this holiday. Is B now the 5? So they transition into E minor. Pretty sure just to give Brian a relatively straightforward palette to weave his magic here. There's a 4. That's the minor 3, Mi, Re, Do, right. It's been so long, y'all, I barely remember this. That's an eventual E chord, I think. There's the delay. That's Tay-to-do. Okay. We get back into what they were doing in the actual song. Flat 7, 1. And they moved the music back to B for the rest of the song. And as soon as I say that, they go back to E. And the song ends. What a way to start an album. I mean, come on. They start off by giving you this, okay, picture it. You're in Brighton. You're down on the coast. And all this revelry is happening. You know? And by the time we get into that middle part, we're like, what is Brian doing? Holy crap. And off we go. And it's a roller coaster ride from there. I can only imagine. Except I can't imagine because I've heard Killer Queen before. This is the next song. It's by Freddie. It's their big breakthrough hit. It hit number 2 in the UK, and it was their first top 20 hit in both the US and Canada. And about the song, Freddie said it's about a high-class call girl. And I'm trying to say that classy people can be whores as well. Okay? That's what the song is about, though I'd prefer people to put their interpretation upon it, to read into it what they like. But Freddie is saying, it doesn't matter who you are. Anybody can be a whore. Come on. So let's get to it. This is Killer Queen from, you guessed it, it's Queen. Here we go.
She keeps a Moet Chandon in a pretty cabinet. Let them eat cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. Building a remedy for Khrushchev and Kennedy. At any time, an invitation you can.
It's been so long since I've heard this.
Caviar and cigarettes, well versed in etiquette, extraordinarily nice. She's a killer queen, gunpowder and gelatine.
Dynamite with the laser beam. It's guaranteed to blow your mind.
Recommended at the price, insatiable and appetite. Wanna
try? And he's all over the place harmonically.
To avoid complications, she never kept the same address.
It's nice to see some live footage here too.
Just like a baroness.
Although I'm pretty sure it's the studio recording. Like different keys are implied with all of those 5-to-1s. It makes it very difficult for me to follow what key they're actually in. Ti, te, la, le, sol. flat. G to C, G to C, B flat to E flat, B flat to E flat. Got a half step up. It's amazing, isn't it? Gunpowder, gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam. Who else could have written this? And made it sound like this. It sounds like a dominant as they kind of fade out. There you go. That segues, I think, directly into the next song, which is called Tenement Funster. This one's by Roger, and Roger handles the lead vocals. It's a song about rebelling as a younger person, and Roger says that a tenement funster is like your neighborhood prankster, the person that's always getting into trouble, you know, the person who's always up for a good time as well and not afraid to break the rules. So together with the next two songs, Tenement Funster forms a 3-song medley that I actually have heard, though I don't think by Queen, back in Fan Favorites number 6. All the way back in July of 2022, we heard our favorite covers, and y'all picked Dream Theater's cover of this medley. And it's been so long I don't really remember, friends, so it's going to be like hearing it for the first time. So I'm going to go song by song, but I won't spend much time in between. So this starts off with Tenement Funster, and it goes like this. Here we go. This playlist from YouTube gives a little bit of extra time at the beginning of all these tracks, I believe.
Been amazing to people next door. And my rock and roll 45 been enraging the folks on the lower floor.
It goes to the minor key instead of the major. Okay. I've got Away with the Girls on My Block. Who's going to get in trouble this time?
Give me a good guitar.
Nice.
You could say that my hands of disgrace.
Major 4, I think.
Oh, just find me an open car. I'll make the speed of light out of this place.
La, do, new do. By a half step. And they're back where they were for the first verse. A and E.
So the same situation just cuts like a knife. When you're young and you're bold and you're crazy.
Lands on that D. We get this extended D, and I thought it was 5 to G, but I think it's going to be flat 7 to E.
Give me a good guitar. You could say that my hands of disgrace. Oh, just find me an open car. I'll make the speed of
and that's going to go into the next song. It really does segue, doesn't it? So let's go on to it. This next song is called Flick of the Wrist, and it's by Freddie Mercury, and we continue on from where we just left off. Here we go. And they put... Yeah, they put that extra break in the sound at the beginning of those tracks. Oh well. Okay.
Dislocate your spine if you don't sign, he says. I'll have you see it double.
Okay. Oh no no.
Mesmerize you when he's tongue-tied, simply with those eyes.
Let's
Synchronize your mind to see the beast within him rise. Don't look back, don't look back. It's a rip-off. Think of the rest. It's your dead, baby. Blow him a kiss. It's your man. Think of the rest. He'll eat your heart out. Digging the rest. And then a kick in the head.
Damn.
Taking an arm and taking a leg. All this time, honey. Baby, you've been had.
Baby, you've been had. So he is talking about con men, con artists.
Brain with what I'm saying. If not, you lie in deep trouble. Prostitute yourself, he says. Castrate your human pride.
Castrate your human pride, sacrifice your leisure days.
Let me squeeze it till you've dried. Don't look back. Don't look back. It's a river.
It's a ripoff. Love the sound of the drums, all those toms. Like a C sharp to D, and that's back in E minor.
Work my fingers to my bones. I scream with pain. I still make no impression.
Bottom, bottom, sol, la, sol, do,
She drops the lateral line. Time, money, body. Used you to a music fake, but she let the last goodbye.
Still all of the chorus and overdubs on the vocals that they have. Amazing.
He'll eat your heart out, digging the ribs, and then a kick in the head. He's taking it all and taking a leg. All this time, honey.
And that's going to fade and go right into the next song called Lily of the Valley. I don't think Freddie's really out for blood here in this one. He's just, I think, working out some inner demons. I'm reminded of Death on Two Legs from Queen 2, where they were just taking a jab at that manager that they were upset at. I think here they're just talking about everyday con men and ripoff artists that we come into contact with all the time. And if your bullshit meter is working, then you'll know. But they're saying keep watch. It's a ripoff. So up next is Lily of the Valley, another one by Freddie, and it's the last one of this little medley. Here we go. And we wait.
Baby, you've been had.
And it segues into A minor from E, I think. Sol, do, relative major.
High and low.
Sol,
seas, an answer for me, please. The lily of the valley doesn't know. I lie in wait with open eyes. I carry on through stormy skies. I follow every course, my kingdom for a horse. But each time I grow old, serpent of the Nile, relieve me for a while and cast me from your spell. Let me go. Messenger from seven seas has flown.
He's referencing his own song, right? Seas of Rye.
Is the time enough for peace? For the lily of the valley doesn't know.
It resolves to a major chord. Are they going to end it there? They give us that really deep low C. And the medley ends like that. How about that? What a sight of music we have here, y'all. We've got one more before we end the side. But for a quick second here, that's a beautiful little song, "Lily of the Valley." Brian in 1999 said that this heartfelt song from Freddie was at its core about being with his girlfriend and realizing that he just needed to be somewhere else. I am forever searching high and low, but why does everybody tell me no? Neptune of the seas, have answer for me, please. The lily of the valley doesn't know. You know, one of our friends at the church where I work, they know that I've been emotionally struggling recently, and they're having similar issues with their own family, and they have lilies of the valley, the little blooming flower there on their property, and they brought me a little vase of lilies of the valley, and they smelled incredible. And they just told me, whenever you're getting upset or really sad, just smell and be reminded of everything that's good. And so the lily of the valley is kind of newly on my mind here. And he's saying, I've gone to nature and communed, and even, you know, tried to maybe breathe in that and accept that wisdom. Even the lily of the valley doesn't know. You know, maybe the Neptune of the seas knows. The messenger from the seven seas has flown to tell the king of Rye that he's lost his throne. So nobody's around to tell him the lily of the valley doesn't know. He's just wanting some sort of validation, maybe, that he should stay, but everything else, it's like, he's like, yeah, it needs to go. And all of these signs are like, yep, we're not going to intervene. That's the message that you need to have right now. If you think something else about these songs and what they mean, let me know in the comments. But that's what I found when I researched it. And that's what popped into my head as I was thinking about it. But really, it's because I've come into contact personally, very recently, with some lilies of the valley, and they're quite beautiful and breathtaking. One more song on side one before we get to side two. This one's called "Now I'm Here." This one's by Freddie, but this one's by Brian, but Freddie sings lead, and Brian is on the piano for this one. So let's take a look at "Now I'm Here" from Queen. Here we go.
Here I stand, look around,
I've heard this one too. That sounds familiar.
now I'm here, now I'm there,
raised the key to a new 5. And now they're in E instead of in D.
Baby, I was when you took my hand, and the light of the night was bright. The people all stand didn't understand, but you knew my name on sight. Whatever came of you and me, America's new bride to be. Don't worry, babe, I'm safe and sound. Down in the dungeon, just creatures and me. Don't I love her?
They may be doing some more straight ahead rock and roll, but the progressive nature of their harmonies is still in play, y'all. It's not a 3-chord rock band.
But then moon me in the smoke screen sky, where the beams of your love light chase. Don't move, don't speak, don't feel no pain, with the rain running down my face. Your mind you still light up the sky, and many
Up a step, up a step. Sequential pattern.
down in the city, just who pulling me.
Yeah, really cool. Seven, they switch keys. They're back in B. I love that. Maybe I haven't heard this. You know what? It reminds me of Arnold Lane from Pink Floyd. A little bit in just that one little spot. Yada-bum. Maybe that's what it was reminding me of. I don't know. They started the side in B, so they're coming back home as we end the side. That's pretty cool. Go, little Queenie. What a fun side of music, y'all. It's so entertaining, and so you like I'll use that word. We should do a drinking game. The episode or the word for this episode is unique. Oh, I said unique. I need to take a drink. Today it's just coffee, y'all. Well, side 1 in the books. That's amazing. Really, really great stuff. So as we get to side 2, we get to In the Lap of the Gods, which is another one that I have heard, but it's been years, friends. I heard this In the Lap of the Gods and In the Lap of the Gods Revisited, which ends the album. No spoilers. Back in episode 225. I think I just recorded episode 951 a while ago. This was September of 2021. Where I heard these, and I haven't heard them since, so it will be lovely to make their acquaintance again. We're going to start with In the Lap of the Gods. I'll get to Revisited by the time we finish the album, but for now, let's get back to In the Lap of the Gods, the first track on side 2, and it goes like this. Here we go. Wake up call. Somebody pinched Roger when he was asleep or wasn't looking. That's how they got that note. like a melodrama.
I live my life for you. Think all my thoughts with you and only you. Anything you ask, I do for you. I touch your lips with mine.
Touch your lips with mine.
But in the end, I leave it to the
In the end, I leave it to the Lords.
leave it in the lap.
In the lap of the gods. What more can I do?
I leave it to you.
That's 2 to 5.
Want you
Goes there finally. Goes there. Now it's a new 2, 5. Roger. Now instead of 2-5, it's just 1-4. Great hearing the guitar popping in there. Boom, boom, that ends. I wasn't even paying attention. I guess it segues directly into the next tune. I'll get there in a second. But, friends, I don't remember that at all because it shocked me. It shocked me like I had never heard it before. Roger's vocals was absolutely incredible. I live my life for you, think all my thoughts with you and only you. Anything you ask, I do for you. I touch your lips with mine, but in the end, I leave it to the Lord's. Leave it in the lap of the gods. What more can I do? So, the next song, Stone Cold Crazy. The songwriting is credited to the entire band on this one. It was not released as a single, but it was a live concert favorite throughout the rest of the 1970s as they played live. And it's notably been covered by Metallica. I haven't heard that cover either. And it's described as thrash metal before the term was invented. Let's get to it, friends. Stone Cold Crazy from Queen. Here we go. And they're going to give us a little bit of intro. Okay. So that drum pops into this. Awesome. Wow. Minor third, right?
Rainy afternoon and I'm blowing typhoon and I'm playing on my slide trombone. Anymore, can't I take it anymore? Gotta get away from this storm or
So that makes that the major third of where they were. Yeah. So that's a B flat. G.
shooting people that I mean with my Robert Tommy water gun. Here come the deputies, gonna come and get me. I gotta get up and run. They got the sirens loose. I ran right out of juice. They gonna put me in a cell if I can't go to heaven. They let me go to hell.
This is great.
Don't go crazy, you know.
That's it? There's got to be more. I'm sure live that was embellished a little bit, y'all. I like the really quick lyrics from Freddie as well. I heard that in G minor. And when it was going to and the main riff was just up the minor third, the G to the B flat, G to the B flat. But when it went to the 4, that's the C. And then it's like between the C and the B flat, that's a whole step. And they went to the note that's between them, a B natural, which is a lovely note to connect to a G. It's just the major third above G instead of the minor third. And in the context of G minor, with flats in it, that B natural is quite a departure, which is why it sounded so interesting there. And then they flip right back into G minor as they keep going. Woohoo! Okay, Stone Cold Crazy. That was fun. That was fun. Next up is a song called Dear Friends, and this is quite a short little song. It's by Brian. Freddie is doing the singing, and Brian is back at the piano. And as I am looking at this, there's only just one little verse. So I am quite eager to hear this little tune. Dear Friends from Queen. Here we go.
So, dear friends, your love is gone. Only tears to dwell upon. I dare not say as the wind must blow, so a love is lost, a love is won. Go to sleep and dream again. Soon your hopes will rise, and then from all this gloom life can start anew, and there'll be no crying soon.
It's a hymn. And it's also a palate cleanser. After the first two songs especially, when we get, in the lap of the gods, right into that Stone Cold Crazy, and then we get that little palate cleanser. So, dear friends, your love is gone. Only tears to dwell upon. I dare not say as the wind must blow. So a love is lost, a love is won. Go to sleep and dream again. Soon your hopes will rise. And then from all this gloom, Life can start anew, and there'll be no crying soon. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love art. It's and especially music. Yeah, you're like, no shit, Doug. But man, it's just amazing how a turn of phrase, some sounds can just completely turn your mood, your daily outlook. Maybe that was wonderful. Wonderful. Let's keep going, friends. The next song is called Misfire, and this one is by John Deacon. And it's John's first credited song on a Queen album, from what I could find. And it's another short tune, and we've got John playing the guitars on this track. So let's take a look at Misfire from Queen. Here we go. Cool. E minor, 4, 6, relative major, G, C, G, D, flat 6. Oh, now we're into E flat. Sure they were talking about sex there. Don't miss this time. Please don't misfire. Well. Moves keys again. Moves keys again. Pick a key. Any key can work. That was fun. That was fun. And naughtier than you might think, y'all. Tell me if I'm wrong here. Okay, don't you misfire. Fill me up with desire, with the desire to carry on. Okay. So maybe the desire is to carry on and not something else. Don't you know, honey, that love's a game. It's always hit or miss. So take your aim. Gotta hold on tight. Shoot me out of sight. Don't misfire. But this is where I really thought they were using this is an innuendo, right? So it says, your gun is loaded and pointing my way. There's only one bullet, so don't delay. Got to time it right. Fire me through the night. Come on, take a shot. Fire me higher. Don't you miss this time. Please don't misfire. Okay. I don't know what John is confessing to in that little song, but that was fun. That was fun. Okay, next up is Bring Back That Leroy Brown by Freddie. And this is the one where I had read that they had like 70 vocal tracks that had to be mixed together and mixed until it was, few enough tracks to work on their main mixer. So it's about Jim Croce, who had famously sang Bad Leroy Brown. And Jim Croce, at the time when they were recording this, had recently died in a plane crash. And that's what inspired Freddie to write this one. So, yeah, bring back that Leroy Brown. Bet your bottom dollar bill you're a playboy, daddy cool with a $90 smile. You know, the lyrics don't make sense until Freddie sings them. So let's go ahead and listen to this song. It is Bring Back That Leroy Brown from Queen. Here we go.
Bring back that Leroy Brown. Bring back, gotta bring that Leroy Brown. Bet your bottom dollar bill you're a playboy. Daddy cool with a $90 smile. Took my money out of gratitude and he get right out of town. Steady up, shoot him down. Gotta hit that latitude. Bring back that Leroy Brown.
I love the old school.
That Leroy Brown.
Big bad Leroy Brown, he got no common sense. He got no brains, but he sure got a lot of style. Can't stand no more in this here jail. I gotta rid myself of this sentence. Gotta get out the heat, step into the shade. Gotta get me that dead or alive. Whoa, whoa, big bad Leroy, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, big bad Leroy.
There's the double bass that John's playing.
Bring back
This is
that Leroy Brown.
righteous.
Bring back, gotta bring that Leroy Brown. Big Mama Lulu Bell, she had a nervous breakdown. Leroy taking her honey child away. But she met him down at the station. Put a shotgun to his head.
Holy shit.
And unless I be mistaken, this is what she said. Big bad Leroy Brown. I'm gonna get that cutie pie. Bring back that Leroy Brown. Big bad
It's so damn fun, y'all.
Got himself elected president. We want Leroy for president. Next, you gotta hit a bitty batty with this. Like a Jimmy Jimmy Nelly, he's a big boy, bad boy, Leroy. Get away, you get him. Ain't that big bad Leroy?
Five.
Want it back.
To 1, and it's in C. Because I can barely hit that note, right? I can barely eke out a low C. You know, that's where my bass powers kind of meet their match. For a song about a guy, or inspired by a guy who had just died in a plane crash, that was a load of fun, wasn't it? The lyrics don't make sense unless they're in that milieu, in that style. Huh. Only for, you know, it's amazing because, yeah, I'm hearing this as a transitory album. You know, I know they're big anthemic sounds that's going to come later. And I've heard what's come before, and I hear a little bit of that movement especially, and you know that Bohemian Rhapsody is on the way. And they're just working through all of these techniques, recording techniques, songwriting, overdubs, all of that stuff, and they're treating the recording itself as a mosaic for their songwriting, you know, and it just all kind of pops in. It's really amazing. The thing that really is a major accomplishment to me is taking, especially for the day, a style of music that their grandparents were probably quite into. You know, some of these more ragtimey and jazzy, old school jazzy sort of sounds from the 20s, 30s, and 40s of their grandparents' generation. And they're doing it in a way that makes it fresh and makes it fun and makes it applicable and inclusive. And they did it so well, I bet that nobody, even if you wanted not to like it, you couldn't not like it. It was too darn good. Bring that big bad Leroy back. Want him back. I don't care where you get him from. Fun. Let's go on, friends. The next song is She Makes Me, and then in parentheses, Stormtrooper in Stilettos. This one's by Brian, and Brian also sings lead on this one. And no, it's not about Star Wars, y'all. You know, I know it says Stormtrooper, but this predates Star Wars. Brian is, no, it's much, you know, more serious than that. Brian's using the metaphor of a German stormtrooper, right? To tell us about a man in love with a woman who is, I think, cruel to him. Yeah. So let's hear it. I'm fascinated by this. Brian is so darn intelligent that whenever I hear one of his songs, it really makes me sit up and listen. So this is She Makes Me by Queen. Here we go. Two, three, four, 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 one. Bum, 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 bum. D to A. Verse 2. I know I'm jealous of her.
She makes me need.
Beautiful.
She is my love. She is my love.
Using some suspensions from the parallel minor key. Nice. It's like a Mixolydian progression over that flat 7 that goes back into A. It's really cool. Slow. She makes me so. She is my love.
She is my love.
Beautiful. It's like a C chord interlaced with that D chord. It's like deconstructing itself. And there's an ambulance. And now it's in minor. Is he flatlining? Is that what that means? Labored breathing. Okay. Okay. So if I hadn't read ahead and I was just listening to that song, it's using a beautiful 4-to-1 in a bright A major key for a lot of the time. I love, she makes me, she is my heart, she is my love, she is my love. I know I'm jealous of her, but she makes me need, she is my love, she is my love. Who knows who she'll make me as I lie in her cocoon, but the world will surely heal my eels. I'm warm and terrified, she makes me so. And then I know the day I leave her, I'll love her still. She is my love. She is my, it's, you almost think of it as a beautiful kind of an ode love song until that whole ending. It starts just breaking down the sharps that are embedded within that particular key. It doesn't change keys, but it kind of just falls in on itself gradually and becomes a minor sounding key instead of all of the major chords. And with the ambulance there, the labored breaths at the end, it takes on a no. This is not lovey-dovey. This is a person who is delusional. A person, well, maybe not delusional, but a person who is so in love with having a person there. They don't even realize, excuse me, or care that they're being abused in some way. Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, stormtrooper in stilettos, meaning that they may look good in high heels, but deep down, they're going to do bad things to you. Yeah. Fascinating. Fascinating. We have one more, friends. It's In the Lap of the Gods Revisited. And again, I heard this one back in September of 2001 on the channel, but just like the first In the Lap of the Gods, I don't think that I remember it. I remember that this was one of Freddie's early attempts to create a song that would actively involve their audience, like the audience singing along, kind of like what they would achieve with We Are the Champions and stuff like that later on. And this was often their concert closer, especially in the mid-70s, right after this album was was released in the years after it. So let's finish up the album. This is In the Lap of the Gods Revisited by Queen. Here we go.
It's so easy, but I can't do it. So risky, but I got a chance.
So the music is not the same. It's not a reprise of In the Lap of the Gods. them to sing along, Freddie, you're going to have to give them a little bit of an easier thing to sing.
There's no meaning by pretending. Believe me, life goes on and forgive me when I ask you where.
Man, their records just sound like nobody else's does. Even all these years later. Yeah, that's not easy. Yeah. Give him an easier note, Freddie. Flat 7 to 6, then it's E, D, C sharp to the A, that's 5 to 1, and D. 1, 2, D sharp, up to the 4. That's what, they give it to me enough times I can figure it out. Who did it? Wasn't me. If it's in the lap of the gods, that was a heck of a fart from the gods. Right in the wrong spot. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make light of that. I'm just having a good time. What an album. What will we do without these guys? I mean, somebody's got to be Queen, right? In the history of musical development, there needs to be a band that comes together with this unique way of bringing all of these sounds together, and they're so damn intelligent. You know, they can all play, they can all sing, they can all write, and they build and build and build on these recordings to the point where it's like the Queen Army on these recordings instead of just four guys in a room playing their instruments. They make themselves into an ensemble that has no limit in the recording studio. And then they go out on stage and they're one of the best stage bands of all time. They're uniquely talented. Just really a real special band. And it is, I think, an album of transitions. I went back and I listened to Queen 2 before coming to this one. I haven't listened to Queen 1 yet, by the way. But you know, just being reminded of what came before this was helpful, especially with some of the callbacks that they made to some songs on that previous album. I did find a quote from a rock historian named Paul Fowles, and he wrote that Sheer Heart Attack saw the band become increasingly focused on the emerging cult figure of Freddie Mercury and his unique brand of rock theater, especially on the single Killer Queen. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they chose to make that a single. It's a great song. Some of these others could have been singles as well. I'm sure they were. I'm sure this got just a ton of radio play because they're all radio length, radio friendly, and they sound wonderful. They really do. So, like I said, I've heard a lot of Queen's best hits over these many years and on the channel. But only two albums previously, their second and their fourth, and this was the third. So I think that my next album from them should probably be A Day at the Races, which is their fifth, right? So I've heard A Night at the Opera, which is this album's, excuse me, follow up, and A Day at the Races comes after that. Plus, it came in second in our poll. So I think I'll stay in this era of the band with the 70s. I know that I put in the poll, this last poll, one of their albums from the 80s right after they appeared on Live Aid, and then I put in Innuendo, the last one that they put out while Freddie was still alive. And we decided to keep it here in the 70s. So now I've heard the second, third, and fourth album. Next time it'll be the fifth. And I think I'll get back to it sooner than the amount of time it's taken to get me from, this last time that we heard some of their music on the channel to this one, because it was just too long. I really enjoy Queen. They're always an enjoyable listen and a very fun ride, and just a reminder of just how wonderful their musicianship is and how special they are. A true unique rock band, if I ever heard one. And I have now heard this. Sheer Heart Attack from Queen. This has been episode 90 of our Extended Play Lounge. Thanks, y'all, for being here with me today. I really do appreciate your support and your time. We will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily